Hey everybody, back again, this time for a review of the movie Keanu. Went and saw it this past weekend. I was really looking forward to this movie because I love Key and Peele. I loved the show they had on Comedy Central. I wish it was still on, but the show ended. Um, they're hilarious together in the show, and that was one of the reasons I was really looking forward to this movie, was to see these two finally together in a movie, and I was not disappointed. It was a very funny movie. It had, just like in the show, their interactions together were great. There was a particular scene that you really see their chemistry together. It's they're driving in a car talking about whose school bullies were better than the other ones. You have one character went to school in New York. He said his bullies were better than the other one who was in Detroit. And it's just the interaction, the chemistry between these two just can't be stated enough how phenomenal it really is. So I was really looking forward to it, and it was good. It was very, very good. The supporting cast in this movie is phenomenal. I can't remember all the actors' names off the top of my head, but they all do such a phenomenal job. They're funny. They all work well together. It's a movie that'll make you laugh. As if you enjoyed the show, I'll put that as a little footnote with this. If you really enjoyed the show Key and Peele, you'll enjoy this movie because it is basically a 90-minute Key and Peele sketch. It's exactly the pacing that their sketches had. It's the same feel that they had. And that's not surprising because one of the writers of this movie was one of their writers on the show. So that's not surprising. But it was still very funny. It had its low points, some low points throughout the movie, but that's a given. You know, most comedies have those nowadays for whatever reason. In fact, even older ones did. You had some few moments in the movie that it didn't really pace like it should. Um, but that's fine. Uh, I did feel like the George Michael references got annoying towards the end of the movie. It stays funny and hilarious up until probably the last third of the movie. Then it just dies down, and it's like, okay, we get it. It's George Michael's. Um, I think it was Key is a huge George Michael's fan, so I get it. But it just gets old. Like most comedies nowadays, they stick with the same kind of jokes. Which, like I said, if you're a fan of the show, you know these and you'll like them. I just felt the George Michael's parts, while great for the first probably half of the movie, by the end of the movie, it's like we get it. Okay, we can move on to something else. But I still thought it was great. There was one scene in particular in the van. It was part in the trailer where they grab Key's iPod and that starts playing some George Michael songs. That was just hilarious. That whole scene of them in the van when that happens was hilarious. I loved it. But then pretty much after that, that was it with the George Michael's references. It got annoying after that. But like I said, it's a comedy. Comedies nowadays do that all the time. So it wasn't unexpected, but it was still just kind of like, okay, we get it. It's George Michael's. All right, we don't need to keep going with the same gag. So, but it's definitely worth watching. Especially like I said, if you're a fan of Key and Peele, I very much think you'll enjoy this movie. I did. Uh, would I say go see it in theaters? Probably not. It's definitely a movie you could probably wait to come out on DVD and get it then. But solid movie, very funny. Key and Peele is always, like I said, their chemistry together cannot be stated enough at how good it is. The cat was awesome. I remember reading there was actually 7 different tabby cats that they used for this movie. And while I'm not a cat person, that damn cat was adorable. So that was good. Like the supporting cast, absolutely phenomenal. Every one of them, even Method Man, is hilarious and just great in this movie. Uh, oh, Will Forte is his character in this movie is hilarious. That he plays a drug dealer, and he is hilarious. Every time he's in this movie, you're gonna laugh. I laughed every time he had a scene. It was so funny. He was so good in this movie, and he was great. But like I said, all the supporting cast in this movie was hilarious. Didn't really take the movie away from Key and Peele, so it's not that kind of a deal. But they were all very good. Key and Peele, of course, like I said, their chemistry together cannot be underplayed enough. Those guys work together so well, and it shows in this movie just like it did in the show. So, like I say, if you were a fan of the show, watch the movie. It's very good. Um, give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. You know, it's a comedy, so like a lot of comedies nowadays, I'd have to watch it again to see if the jokes hold up. You know, if you've watched the trailers multiple times and you still laugh at it, it will probably hold up good for you. But that's just how comedies are nowadays. They're kind of a one and done thing. You watch it once, you laugh your ass off, you come back to it, and you might get a few chuckles. That's about how most comedies are nowadays. So it wouldn't surprise me if this one's the same way, but I won't know till I see it again. But like I said, 3.5 out of 5. If you're a fan of the show, you'll enjoy the movie. If you're not a fan of the show, you'll probably get some laughs out of this, but you probably won't enjoy it as much as people who are a fan of the show. But that's it. So that's my review for the movie Keanu. I will be back tomorrow. If you followed me on Facebook, you know I finally finished season 5 of Game of Thrones, so I'm going to do my review of that one. And I finally got everything ready for my May movie preview, even though I know it's May, but I'm going to start that. I'm going to get that up there in the next day or two. So until then, see you next time. Thanks.